in this video today we're going to talk about where you should start your Flesh and Blood community. And now, I started a Flesh and Blood community, or a card gaming community, before I ever started AppalachiaTCG. It was actually called the Montgomery County Gaming Community, but we transitioned to a business, or I took it to a business card store here in Cyrusville, Kentucky. But today we're going to talk about Flesh and Blood and where you should start in your hometown or community or something if you're wanting to play Flesh and Blood locally. And I've seen a lot of people ask that, how they can get started, and I'll go through a little what we done, or what I done to try to build a Flesh and Blood community here. Other places away from Cyrusville played Flesh and Blood, but there's been no card store in Cyrusville until I started one. So at least a trading card, collectible card game store. There's been people sell sports cards here and there, but like actual one that runs events, stuff like that. But anyway, we're not talking about that today. We're talking about where to start your Flesh and Blood community. We got our special paint here. I'm gonna become one of those paint YouTubers. All right, what we got? Where's my mouse at? I can't even see it. There it is. Going blind, guys. Going blind. Anyway, let's see here. We're gonna brush is fine. Oh, this how big it is. All right. Yeah. All right. Now I can see it. Hey. All right. So what LSS, that's Legend Story Studio, wants you to begin at, or what they wanted you to begin at in the beginning, was Blitz. Now Blitz is a 40 card, 20 health, young hero. All right. I necessarily think this is one of the worst ways to start playing Flesh and Blood. No slight against LSS. I love the company. I love Flesh and Blood, but I really think that playing Blitz to start out is by far the most expensive and the worst way to learn the game. Now, this is when I started playing as a player. I was introduced as Blitz because that's what you could buy. And this was like in 2023. You could buy Blitz precons, and they literally came with nothing. They was actually terrible. When I did play Flesh and Blood, it was honestly kind of a terrible experience. I mean, it wasn't bad if somebody else played a precon deck, but if I played like a pre-constructed, if I played a pre-constructed deck against another pre-constructed deck, it wasn't that bad. But when I played my pre-constructed deck that might have had an upgrade or two against somebody that had upgraded the Blitz deck to Oblivion, it was miserable because it's usually over in like 2 turns. That's just my opinion. Like I said, Blitz, we'll get to that. I think, and this is from our experience, okay, my experience, and this includes veterans that want to help grow the game. I think you should start with Commoner. I think Commoner lays down the foundation that you need to learn how to play the game, because you're still learning the game. Like, you gotta realize, new people, they're timid anyway of trying a game. They see some of the prices of Flesh and Blood, and Commoner is extremely cheap. You still get, you still do defense reactions. You can play pretty, and like, you can play all your heroes. Like, nothing's banned hardly. You're starting with young heroes. It doesn't last that long. But that's my opinion. You start with Commoner. Ooh. Start with Commoner. Play this until you get some new people. And the great thing about Commoner is you can give stuff away. You got like if you buy History Pack 1, you'll be able to play. You'll be able to give so many cards away just to get your community growing. All right, that's kind of what I done. I bought to help grow the community in Flesh and Blood. I was giving away armor, attack reactions. I mean, I bought a ton of just equipment, weapons, whatever. We'd take this big bulk box around, hand it out. Take what you want and build this deck, and we'd play and 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 East KY, where we played most at, and I would host my own events at the library or at the Farmhouse Diner. I mean, we would just bulk. Here, we'd give you cards, take this, here's my folder, take whatever you want out of it. It's all commons, whatever. It's fantastic. You make friends, you give stuff away, people starting getting cards, they're building their decks, they're looking up online. They're learning the foundation of Flesh and Blood. That's what I love the best about Commoner. But Commoner does get stale after a while, guys, okay? So it does. You don't have rares, you don't have majestics, you can't play legendaries. It's all common cards, but I think it is fantastic to start. I would do this for 2 to 3 months. And you're going to build your core. You're going to build your core people up. All right. So the next progression, before these other, there's a new one called Project Blue. I've not tried it, but I don't really understand it. What LSS wanted you to do is go Blitz, then Classic Constructed. So the whole goal here, we'll skip to a goal. The whole goal is to get to C, because that's the best. That's what the game's designed around. All right. Goal. This is your goal. Goal is Classic Constructed. All right. This is the 60 card. 40 health, adult heroes. Alright. That's your goal right there. Alright, the next step you should take is either Clash or the Project Blue. Now, in my opinion, I don't really know why Project Blue is designed. Like, it's supposed to be a little better. Apparently, the guy that done Clash now operates in Project Blue, so now the progression might be Project Blue, but the next progression you should probably take, if you know, and I want to say this: like, this is cheap. Next step's cheap. Alright, so these, even if you put so Clash, the reason I love Clash is because you got Majestics, but they was only like for your hero Majestics. You didn't get like crazy Majestics, you still couldn't use Legendaries. So the Legendaries are the most expensive cards. That's usually the equipments, the generic equipments. You don't really need that to play this game though, and that's what I'm getting at. This is what we went to, and then we kind of went to Blitz for a second. But Blitz, I'll be honest with you, it's just not that fun. It's okay. It's a lot of heroes just don't work well in Blitz though. So for example, Riptide takes a while to get going. The hero I played in Blitz when I tried to learn the game was Benji, and it was awful. I hated it. It's like I just didn't enjoy it. I think Guardians are funner in CC and Commoner even. Blitz it's missing something. Now the funnest time I've had in Blitz. So what you're supposed to do is Blitz. But I think here's the two I think you kind of skip out on, right? You skip out on Blitz and LL. I think you just dodge these for now until you get an event, okay? And we'll dive into that. But yeah, you go to Clash, and this is normally rare. I think they went the rares, but they got rid of attack reactions for some reason. This is this is the sink belows, the uh, reflexes, the warriors, and I think you still have attack reaction, but you can't get no D reacts for some reason in Project Blue. And I don't know why. It don't really make a lot of sense to me. But because I think the foundation of the game is knowing when to D-react, knowing when to attack react, knowing when to hold that card, knowing when the arsenal. I just think Commoner is the best way to learn the game. Like I said, 2 to 3 months. That's, if you're playing in armories, that's what? 3 games a week, 3 times 4's 12 times 3, that's 36 games. Somebody's probably at least played. That's a lot of games for 3 months. But I mean, even when you think of it, that's not enough. If you're going to compete, you got to play. You got to pick those numbers up. But anyway, I would go Clash. I like Clash better than I did Project Blue. That's just me. I've not tried Project Blue. I've heard good things, but I don't really understand it. I don't know why it exists when Clash was fine. I just don't. But like I said, I've not really tried Project Blue, but either one, like I said, I think the guy that made Clash is Project Blue. So, I mean, LSS is trying to sell decks anyway. But like I said, the ultimate goal, get to CC. So after Project Blue, at Clash, just go to CC. All right. So what you can do for CC, since they sell classic constructed armory decks now, which are fantastic, and I'll make a video on this. I'm gonna try to make more videos, guys, for Flesh and Blood and other card games. But Flesh and Blood's kind of our specialty, so that's what I'm gonna talk about a lot. So 2 things you can do with classic constructed. I guess you could go all out if you wanted to. But I don't suggest that really. I would hold off just a little bit after you do this about 2 or 3 months. And you got a good core of people. You got 6 months, core group's good. You got 6 to 8 people showing up. That's a pretty good armory, guys. Because, I mean, in my experience, Flesh and Blood doesn't get as many people as like Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh! So, I mean, if you got 6 to 8 people, you're having a pretty good armory and a good turnout. Pretty good group of guys. A good day. If everybody showed up that's ever played Flesh and Blood here at AppalachiaTCG, we would have probably 16 people, I would say, that's ever played or tried the game. Now we got a good core group of at least 6, and then it fluctuates from 6 to 10 people showing up. But but like I said, CC, this is when you can start. People can start putting money into the game. They relate if they're playing this. If they're playing Commoner, Project Blue, Clash, they like the game. All right, you love the game. You want to play the real game. The real game is CC, Classic Constructed. It's got great bands. It's got great. It feels. What's the word I'm looking for? It feels like it's fair. It's everything's kind of balanced pretty well. So that's where when I mentioned balance, this is good. These are crazy. All right. So the Bounce and Blitz and LL, which is Living Legend, and we'll talk about that too for you new guys. But so we've made it to CC. Yay, we made it to CC. Woo. Oh, my. CC. You made it to Classic Constructor. All right, you're playing. You get, you're just basically, after this is where you want to be. All right, you want to be in CC. You want to be playing Classic Constructed. There's so many heroes. It's funner. Just your hero works in CC. Feels like you get a couple turns. So what'll happen is your local store or whoever's running the events will get, and this is where you want to play Blitz at or Living Legend. So the events you practice, CC is supposed to, armories are supposed to be for practice, right? Practice armory for the big events, all right? So you're supposed to armory for big events. You play the armory, you learn the game, so you can play the Living Legend events. You can play the Blitz events. You can play the skirmish. You can play the Pro Quest. Because this is where the prizes are at, alright? This is where the prizes are at. They're in the skirmish, the Pro Quest. That's what you're building for, alright? This is what you're playing for, is to learn how to play in these. And this is where you'll learn how to play Blitz, because you'll have the cards to play Blitz. You'll have the legendaries. You'll have the equipment. You'll have all the cards, so your deck won't be bad. It'll be good. It's almost like you have to drop down from CC to know how to play Blitz. And that's where I'm getting at. And pretty much this video is Blitz is good when you have the cards. It's bad when you don't. It's not balanced at all. So if you don't have the cards to defend yourself at the first of the game, it's over. Now, I don't have experience with LL, unfortunately, so I can't really talk about it, but from looking at it, it looks insane and maybe crazier than Blitz, because just heroes are broken completely, like Starvo, stuff like that. But these are supposed to be fun, and you get prizes. That's the way this stuff works. It's the way it works in all trading card games, really. You play local to play in the big events for your prizes and see who's actually put the time and effort into playing the game. But like I said, we'll go back to the front. So we'll type something here. So you want to go commoner. Well, that's way too small, ain't it? I do Clash/Project Blue and Classic Constructed. That's what you want to go. That's what you want to be. And the ultimate goal, like I said, is to get here. Start here. Progress this way. Build your core. Core building. Learn the foundations. Learn Flesh and Blood. Then, as you should probably be buying packs, singles, online, TCG player. Build your deck up. Get ready for Clash. Get ready for Project Blue. Like, you're not spending, you want to progress over time. Like, progress with, just a little bit of cash. $5. If you're playing at a LGS, I mean, if you buy a $5 pack, that helps the LGS. It helps your community. It helps grow Flesh and Blood. $5 pack here and there, you could hit some rares, majestics, whatever. I mean, you're doing this. What I say? This is 3 months. 3 months, at least each one. At least that's what I would do. 3 months, 3 months. So if you're spending $5, let's do some quick math. 5 times, if you spend $5 pack for Flesh and Blood, and 3 months, that's 12 weeks. So 5 times 12, that's $60 you spent in 3 months. So you spend $120 on just packs here. So you should have cards at this point. 6 months in, you should have decent cards here. I mean, you should, $120 for how many hours of entertainment, guys? It's I mean, $5 for a pack here and there. You should have the here to progress to this easily. Even though I want to say before I end this video, if you still building this core, if the core's still going on and they're not really, if people maybe they're having a hard, and it's been hard times this year in 2025. Maybe they're not able to spend $5 to play. Build this core, keep building this core. If you want to start out with like almost like a commoner classic constructed, I've pitched this idea and I think it's fantastic. It's just like you can almost skip these if you wanted to and just play all commoner, like all common cards, classic constructed. This is if you wanted to skip this and just play all commons, classic constructed, and just start here and start building everything here, that's fine too. But commoner is great. You don't play that much, you still get the foundations. Clash and Project Blue, I think Clash was better than Project Blue, what I've seen, but like I said, I've not played Project Blue. But if you wanted to do all common classic constructed, that wouldn't be a bad idea either. But this is just for you to begin your community. Hopefully, if you like this video, I'll do more. It might not come off totally coherent, but I'm here to try to help somebody else out there that's wanting to build a gaming community out there. And this is kind of how I foresaw it in my head. Now, you ain't got to start a game store like I did, and I didn't at first, all right? Let's put that out there. I just ran events, never sold a single card to anybody until last year around this time. AppalachiaTCG's only been in business for almost a year now. August 16th, I think, is the official day. But anyway, I started getting people to try to come out. I gave cards away, and that's what it takes is somebody wanting to give stuff away. This is what you need to do. Here's some free cards. Just come play. And it might help you build your flesh and blood community wherever you're at. I don't know where you're at. You're more than welcome to come play at AppalachiaTCG if you're in Cyrusville, Kentucky. And shop on TCG Player. Follow AppalachiaTCG.com. If you like this video, hit a thumbs up. Share what I got wrong or what you think. Give some tips, guys. If you want to give some tips down in the comment section, feel free. We'll see you guys next.